Spider-Man No Way Home has finally come out. Hey, it's Maverick, and today's video is gonna be about Spider-Man No Way Home. Also, this video is not gonna contain any type of spoilers. So the way I'll be reviewing this movie is by stating some pros and cons, pretty much things that I liked and things that I did not like, sectioning them into different acts of the movie, all by starting by the first act. So the movie introduces you to the consequences of the world knowing the identity of Spider-Man, and the movie does a really good job on making you feel the weight of the consequences, and you can really feel the world falling on him. I really like Peter's relationship with MJ because it feels more genuine in this movie. In other movies, they don't get to be fleshed out when it comes to their relationship, probably because they have only been dating for like a day now in this act. But throughout the course of the movie, it actually gets better since it's implied that it has been months now. Something I still debate is Peter's and Ned's friendship. Because like, honestly in this movie, Ned kind of feels a little bit left out in the first act. But I guess since the movie kind of like spends more time with Peter and MJ, I guess it's kind of understandable. Ned has had like 2 movies of character development, so it's kind of like okay if MJ gets like some type of like fleshing out with Peter. In this part it gets a little bit context heavy because it introduces Doctor Strange, and honestly he just kind of like fills in a lot of questions that we have in the movie, but the first action piece is able to balance it since it gives us like a lot of like action that we haven't had in like the rest of the movie. The action pieces do have tension that make them work like a charm, and it honestly gives like a real sense of seeing Peter, you know, being a superhero, and honestly just like seeing him like save people, it honestly throws me back to like the original comics. I also feel like this act was the only to be more emotional hollow and the one to be more filled with jokes. Most of this movie honestly throws in a lot of jokes, and it's honestly kind of like takes you out of the movie, but then some of the jokes actually push you in back to the movie. So I don't know, it's kind of debatable whether the jokes work or not. Act 3 has to be my favorite part of the movie. Now this is the part of the movie that truly gets you pumped. It honestly just works when like writing is concerned. The stakes are pushed way more with the action set pieces and the tension of like some of the characters that they develop between each other. I also want to mention that Willem Dafoe in this movie is honestly so great. If you were to compare him here to Spider-Man 1 in Sam Raimi's trilogy, he honestly feels like he just learned a lot. Also, it's the same case with Jamie Foxx. I honestly like the transition from like his character being this nerd guy that he's obsessed with like Spider-Man to being like this casual guy, and honestly like I think that most of his jokes actually are funny in this movie. I also personally believe that Tom Holland also pumped up his acting skills, because honestly like he got even better than Infinity War's death scene, and it's honestly really hard to like be able to top something like that. Act 4 truly felt like this is the part where Marvel actually spent a lot of time building their last act. Marvel usually sucks at making like last acts, but honestly this movie does not fall under that curse. Actually none of these acts actually fall under that curse. Like it honestly like most of the writing stays constant, and like even better, sometimes it even goes up when it comes to like going from act 1 to act 4. The movie is definitely so bold to include very powerful emotional moments coming from the writers and Tom Holland. Honestly, Tom Holland was able to actually sell out more than the writers, because honestly like in like certain scenes Tom Holland doesn't even speak, but just like his acting is just like so top tier. Comparing his acting coming from Spider-Man Homecoming to this movie, honestly Tom Holland really spent a lot of time like acting, and honestly like he improved a lot on his acting, and this shows. Now the ending, I can see why people could be divided, but I can also see why people would be together when it comes to the outcome. I personally thought that this movie actually has like one of the best endings ever, because like honestly like it actually ends the character arc in this movie, and he actually gets to like improve by the end of this movie. Like he gets to change. There's something that changes in this character and you can tell, and honestly I feel like this is really like one of the best examples of writing a movie, because like there's movies where like the character goes through the whole journey of the movie or the whole journey of like the trilogy, whatever, and honestly the character just ends up being the same. Nothing changes. But in this movie you can tell that Peter Parker definitely changed. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, click that like button. For more upcoming videos, subscribe to our channel and let us know what you think down below. I would really love to see what you think about this movie. If you have not watched it, please, you can use this video as a type of like recommendation for you. I'm Maverick from the Heroes Table, and we'll see ya on the next video.